Bring in Dana Loesch, syndicated radio talk show host and of the Dana Show. Dana, good morning to you.
Good morning to you all. That sounds like a really fun thing tomorrow morning.
I know, right?
Come on over. I think you got to go to Nashville.
We need to take a show on the road.
It's not too far.
All right, let's talk about what's happening down on the border. We've been talking about these caravans. You have thousands of people that are camped out there trying to get into the United States. And on Saturday night, there was an MS-13 gang member that was arrested. They interviewed him. He was a Honduran citizen. He admitted to being a member of MS-13. There's his picture. And he intended on filing for asylum in the United States. And it turns out he'd already been deported once. What's your reaction to this?
I'm not actually shocked to hear. This is something that DHS warned us about. Secretary Nielsen warned us. They put out a report saying, look, there are about 600 known criminals and gang members that are traveling under the cover of this caravan, and they're exploiting the numbers to use this as a way to gain entry to the United States. And this really underscores the importance of how this has to be a careful process. You can't just let every single person in. You have to be able to vet everyone to make sure that the individuals are who they claim that they are. There have been a number of reports that have been put out by Border Patrol, even just getting into how the family units that previously identified themselves as family units to Border Patrol actually weren't family units, and they were traveling with children that weren't even theirs, and that's very concerning. For those who claim that they care about these individuals, and particularly the children that are traveling with this caravan, although there have been others that have reported that it's predominantly men of a certain age demographic. The good thing to do is to wait and make sure that people are who they say they are, and that criminals aren't exploiting this as a way to get inside the United States. That's common sense, and I really wish that we could hear from Democrat leadership what their solution is to this problem, how they would handle it. The only thing that I've heard, Brian, so far is Elijah Cummings saying, well, I guess we should just let everybody in. I mean, it seems that he was making the argument to not vet anyone.
It's unbelievable. Ben Cardin says the system was working fine until Donald Trump took office. What planet is that guy on? Are you kidding? Everybody agreed that it needed to be fixed, updated. How to do it was the debate. Now it's Donald Trump's fault there's turbulence at the border. Unbelievable. But I want to bring you over to talk about turbulence. Nancy Pelosi got over 200 votes yesterday in that top secret ballot, 203 to 32. But she does not right now have enough votes to become speaker again. Why?
I think because people are trying to uphold promises that they made to their voters. You have this battle going on in the Democrat right now, and it's not like, and I can't stand it when I see people compare it to the Tea Party, because the Tea Party was actually protesting against more government. People like Nancy Pelosi are promising more government, and interestingly enough, so are the quote-unquote grassroots resistance members within the Democrat Party. It's just by how much they want to have government. But what's interesting is that these individuals who rode this wave of resistance and anguish and angst, they're trying to take a stand against Nancy Pelosi, but when push comes to shove on the floor, I think she's going to have the votes. I think that the resistance stops at the door of the chamber. I don't think that it goes beyond that. She's going to assume the gavel. Yeah,
I think you're 100% right. But what about when she is speaker? What about the 32 Democrats who voted against her yesterday? You know, we've had guests on who said they're going to get punished. They're going to wind up with bad assignments and stuff like that, and shunned by Democratic leadership.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And that's why there have been a lot of those Democrats that ended up in this 11th hour coming around to Nancy Pelosi because they realize it's better to be on her good side than not. You know, for as much as I dislike her politics, she is incredibly savvy, although I wish she was savvy in terms of promoting limited government and an agenda of freedom. But that being said, she's very savvy with manipulating members of her own party, and she is known to put people in their place by giving them very bad assignments, if any at all. So we're going to see how that works out. But I think a lot more people are going to come to her side at the end of the day.
Well, she's a prolific fundraiser, and D.C. runs on money. Dana, thank you very much.
Can't argue with money.
And you cannot indeed. All right, thank you very much for joining us live today from Dallas.
Julian.